ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestle YouTube channel. I am Aaron Nix, and we are going to discuss WWE Raw. Now, last week, WWE Raw sucked, so could it rebound this week? Let's be honest, it sucked for a while, so a rebound wouldn't really entail much. Just give us a little bit of what we want, please. Just a little bit. Now, the show opened just fine. Drew McIntyre comes out, addresses the Elimination Chamber because he wasn't here last week. Talks about how he's going to kick the shit out of Sheamus because that's going to open the show. It's fine by me. Glad it did, by the way, because it was a fucking stellar matchup. Now, right before that match, The Miz comes out and tries to curry favour, the manipulative champion, and says, oh, Bobby Lashley's really the one to blame, not me. I don't know why you're upset at me. I haven't really done anything, mate. Have a go. And Drew McIntyre's like, look, mate, I'm not getting involved, and I'm certainly not going to do your dirty work for you, which is good, because the very first thing people thought was Drew McIntyre's going to interfere in that title match. So him actually taking himself out of the equation, I thought, excellent. So then my brain immediately thought, okay, who else are they going to get to screw us over? Because Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit what you like. But this match was fantastic. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, kind of a shame. They've not had a one-on-one pay-per-view match in what seems like forever. Believe it or not, this was only the third time in WWE history they faced each other one-on-one as well. I know that there was obviously a big gap there because obviously Drew McIntyre left the company, but you would think these guys, particularly being close friends, would have wrestled each other a number of times, particularly in singles matches. This was fantastic. This was the pay-per-view match I wanted at Elimination Chamber or Fastlane. I guess I got it on Raw, so I'm not going to complain too much. It was fantastic. 25 minutes, 30 minutes. The only critique I have is please stop putting big breaks in the middle of matches. And if you're going to do that, don't have match-ending scenarios right before the break. For instance, right before they go to the first break, Sheamus hits a bro kick and knocks Drew McIntyre out on the ring apron and kind of falls on the outside. And you think, that's a big climax to a match. What's going to happen? Can he get him back in the ring and pin him? Who knows? We'll find out in 3 minutes when we return from commercial. And by that point, you know that the match is going to continue along. And then they do another break. And it's not necessarily WWE's fault because they've got to fulfill the commercial time. It's just a bit frustrating. And you think, I'd like just a little bit more fluidity. But that is a small critique. That match was fucking phenomenal. Then the bullshit happens, and this is when you start worrying. Now, right before the acclaimed matchup that we were going to get, the WWE title match, which they said would happen at the top of the hour, the top of the second hour of Raw, they have Naomi get squashed by Nia Jax. And although I don't have a problem with Nia Jax squashing women because she's much bigger, it's so inconsistent and it's so dumb because Naomi is a big star. She's beautiful. She's amazingly athletic in the ring. I don't understand why you wouldn't push her more. Nia Jax goes over her fairly strongly. Lana's at ringside, doesn't get put through an announce table. Thankfully, they've got over that shtick. But even I, at this point, and I have been quite defensive of Nia Jax, even I am starting to get a little bit fed up with it. Unless you're going to do something fresh and a bit more exciting with a shift her aside a little bit. I think a little bit of time off the TV, or maybe, in a lower end rivalry, not involving titles and not involving mainstream women's talents would probably be quite good for her. That's just my personal opinion. And if you don't like it, you don't need to subscribe. That's the great thing about social media and YouTube. But I don't really appreciate seeing her go over Naomi. But I'll tell you what, I really don't appreciate WWE with the bait and switch. Of course, The Miz isn't going to defend the title at the top of the hour because apparently he's got gut rot or some form of illness. He's feeling sick and he needs more time. And Bobby Lashley's not having that. He comes sprinting to the back and literally grabs him by the chin and says, "You're going to give me a title match, or I'm literally going to rip your fucking limbs off." Now, as soon as they mentioned that they were going to do this again, and they said, okay, you've got another hour, and then you better be ready. And I was like, yeah, they'll find another way to bait and switch that too. And they did. This annoyed me a little bit. At the time. I have to premise that at the time. And maybe that's the idea, and I got worked because I'm a butthurt mark, or whatever you want to call me, or a simple blah, 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 or insert whatever the trolls seem to throw at me these days. But yeah, I was just like, no, you fucking assholes. Why you gotta do that to me? Like, come on. Just give me the title match or just set out for the end of the night and be done with it. Whatever. But we move on. And then all of a sudden Raw starts doing what it does. Because the first hour wasn't too bad, actually. It was a decent and solid show. And then gave more cadence to my argument that it should just be 2 hours. Because then they start throwing out all this stuff that you don't really get or understand or care about. Braun Strowman needs a tag partner, apparently, to face the Hurt Business. So Braun Strowman's out there. He doesn't have a tag partner. He's still feeling butthurt and much maligned because Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon are making him look stupid. So out comes Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon. I feel sorry for Adam Pearce because I actually believe that he doesn't have a clue what's going on. He's like, it's nothing to do with me. You don't fucking lump me in this, mate. It's Shane McMahon who's been the issue. Big issue here is I don't want to see Shane McMahon on my TV screen. And apparently we're building a Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman. Honestly, everyone watching, can you honestly tell me you want to watch Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania? That's marquee, isn't it? That's worthy of being a big match on a card with all these amazing... Fuck off. Find something else for him to do, please. He's Braun Strowman. Put him in the ring with T-Bar or whatever fucking name the god-awful Retribution guys have. The other big guy, what's his name? I forgot his name. I really don't care. Huge guy. Dio Madden with the mask on. Just put him against someone like that. A giant versus giant match. Have a spectacle. Cool. Something interesting to do. Particularly with the Big Show leaving and Kane obviously pretty much at retirement other than the odd appearance. He's effectively your big giant guy other than Omos. That was your opportunity right there. He could have had Omos come out and be like, do you know what? I'm tired of you walking around thinking you're a monster. How about you face me at WrestleMania and we see how things go? But no, we've got to drag this out. Shane McMahon gives you this elongated promo as well about business. And, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? The average Raw watcher, they don't fucking care about Shane McMahon and his business ethics and we're talking about conflict management and to prove that I'm going to put you in with management, and everyone immediately thinks great, he's going to have Shane McMahon as his partner and that'll build up for WrestleMania. Nah, swerve, Adam Pearce is going to be a tag partner but he's wearing a suit. Yeah, don't worry about that. Okay, great. Tag team division. This tag team division fucking sucks, doesn't it? Come on. You've got two somewhat singles guys who feel like a tag team at least because they're part of the same faction. So I'll give them that. So they get away with the Aaron Nix rule. It is, if you are two singles guys, you're not an official tag team to me and therefore I don't recognise you as a tag team. Sorry, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are not a tag team. They're just two very, very, very good singles guys that were together as a tag team. That doesn't count. That's my rule. If you don't like it, fuck off. But Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander... Like, okay, so you're Raw Tag Team Champions. Very underwhelming. Arguably the most underwhelming tag champions I've seen in a long time. And here they are playing dummies for Braun Strowman while he tosses them around, beats him up. Just so Adam Pearce can get a non-hot tag because Shane McMahon's on a ring apron being a fucking tool. You're supposed to be a manager and you're getting all excited and jumping up on the ring. And even the referee's like, get the fuck off the ring apron. Why is this? It makes no sense. It doesn't feel like wrestling. It doesn't feel like good storytelling because it's not. It's terrible. It's just shit. And I don't need to see it. And I don't need to see Braun Strowman squash the tag team champions just to get over the fact that he doesn't like Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon. And poor old Adam Pearce gets rolled up and then bolts it because you don't want to see him die, do you? What was the point? What was the point? Now, I get the point of Bad Bunny being on my screen, because he's Bad Bunny, isn't it? It's going to draw some viewership, it's going to draw some money, and he is selling better than any other WWE superstar, and I think that speaks volumes for the booking of WWE as a whole. But this sucked. Bad Bunny's in Damian Priest's corner. I love Damian Priest. I think he's got megastar written all over him. This will not help him one bit. Putting him in the ring with someone like Elias, who, do you know what? I'm tired of people acting as if Elias is great. He's not. He's rubbish. Okay? That's me being polite as well. I could use some very choice words to describe Elias. His gimmick sucks. He's boring. He is rubbish. He's aligned with Jackson Riker, which makes it tenfold worse because he's a right-wing Republican nut job and nobody's got time for that. Like, I don't really care who you vote for. I'm not bothered by that. But when you're actively using social media as a platform to almost celebrate the fact that someone's been murdered while hyping up your president, it just feels a little bit sleazy to me. Timing is everything, as I always say. I don't care. And Elias isn't a good worker. Can we acknowledge that? Elias is not very good. He's a rubbish wrestler. Okay, he looks great. Don't get me wrong. Looks $1 million. Looks like Damien Sandow and Macho Man Randy Savage have crashed into each other in a DNA session. But I don't care. And this match with Priest was horrible. And it was long. And it was botchy. Elias should never be in a match more than 3 minutes. That should be a rule that they've got on the dirt sheets or the crib sheets or whatever they got going as soon as you walk in the building. Elias, no wrestling more than 3 minutes because you suck, mate. fucking boring. And they made so many mistakes, particularly Elias. Not so much Damian Priest, but even he kind of got sucked into the lethargic, boring nature of this match. And I just thought, this sucks. I don't care. I wasn't actually going to mention this match. I was kind of not paying attention, doing some painting. And then I looked up and saw a couple of botches and thought, okay, we're going to have to mention this. This fucking sucks. Don't do it again. Damian Priest could be a megastar, but if Vince sees stuff like that, he's going to then all of a sudden think, oh, he's obviously not that good. Fuck that guy. It's like, that's not good for any of us. We need Damian Priest to do well, because he's legitimately got the opportunity to be a megastar. So do right by the kid, and don't put him in the ring with guys who frankly suck and can't lead a match to save their lives. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work. Top of the next hour, now we're going to get Bobby Lashley versus The Miz, and we kind of do. They hype it up, they have the ring announcements, and then Miz gets out and runs away and gets counted out. Clever, okay? That I actually tolerated a bit more than the first one, because that makes absolute sense. Why wouldn't The Miz, as the crafty shithouse heel, run away from the destroyer Bobby Lashley? Of course he would. Of course he would. Or he'd find a way to get disqualified. I honestly thought I actually would have liked it even more if he just got a chair and whacked him over the head and went, nope. Just left. That would have been even funny. But he runs away. The only problem I have with this segment, Bobby Lashley just stands there and watches him run away and waits for the count out. And you're thinking, that makes Bobby Lashley look, dare I say, quite retarded. Because he's literally standing there, I don't know if anyone is on TikTok, but there's a guy on TikTok who does these angry recipes where he just throws stuff on the table and creates great food, but he does it in a very no-nonsense way. So he goes, and that's what Bobby Lashley, I imagined he was making sounds like. He's just going, standing up there looking like a big dumb Neanderthal, and you just think, he's better than that, and he's intelligent, and he's cerebral. Why not present him that way? Whatever. Okay. See you at the end of the show, because apparently if The Miz doesn't defend it, he may get stripped to the belt. And I actually really liked MVP shouting bullshit on the camera on TV. I thought that was great stuff. I'm always here for that kind of content. That was good shit. But yeah, and then we just get more filler until the end. Do I care about Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party versus Retribution? Absolutely not. Retribution job out again. And then Mustafa Ali decides, right, I'm going to show you how it's done. Let me wrestle Riddle. And then with the help of everyone on the outside, he does pick up the win with the world's most botched top rope, what looked to be a backcracker. No idea what he was attempting there. They both just kind of fell over and he pinned him. I thought, oh dear, that really sums up Retribution right there. It had all the opportunity and glamour and promise in the world, and it shit the bed. That was very much a great metaphor for what Retribution has been. And by the way, Mia Yim's at ringside. Even with a mask on, she looks fine. Can we get this woman into an actual rivalry? And that was the last thing I wanted to touch upon before the obvious big news that everyone's expecting me to talk about. And that is that Charlotte Flair goes out, cuts a fantastic promo. I love this promo. I thought this was easily the best promo of the night, alongside The Miz ranting at Shane McMahon backstage. Great promo. And then Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax come out, and it's kind of a mishmash. Sometimes they say some good shit, sometimes they don't. I thought, okay, they were generally fine on the microphone, but they warbled a little bit, just like I do. But the difference is I'm not a WWE superstar with a microphone in my face. Otherwise, I keep it nice, short, and succinct. And then, of course, they get the jump on Charlotte Flair, but she still wins the match in 5 minutes. And it's against Shayna Baszler. And when you see what Shayna Baszler did in NXT, again, this is a massive loss. Now, Charlotte, to her credit, actually brought up Asuka's WWE Raw title run, because Asuka's at home. I don't know if you guys saw the footage. They showed a replay of it. If I can find it, I'll show it now, but apologies if it's not on the screen. Vicious. Shayna Baszler, legit shoot, kicked Asuka in the face and a tooth went flying. It looked gnarly. Like, if that wasn't a shoot and they've somehow managed to work that with a false tooth or whatever, incredible, but it looked fairly legit, to be honest. And I can believe that if Shayna Baszler kicked anyone in the mouth, that would be the problem. I mean, I've had toothache all day, and after watching that, I feel like it got tenfold worse. But I felt like this would have been a good opportunity to introduce Rhea Ripley. Something to really get people excited about, because they've been plugging her no end with these vignettes, but alas, no Rhea Ripley. Just a 5 minute somewhat squash of Shayna Baszler. Charlotte dispatched her pretty well, and that doesn't make sense, particularly when they got the upper hand on Charlotte. Okay, whatever. And then we finally get our main event. And to make sure the Miz can't run away, Shane McMahon brings down the Lumberjacks. And at this point, I was adamant Braun Strowman was going to get involved. Think about it. He's had all these problems with Adam Pearce and Shane McMahon for the last few weeks. Shane McMahon's the kind of the architect behind this main event and making sure Miz doesn't run away. So what perfect time for Braun Strowman and a Lumberjack match to get involved and ruin everything for everybody. And no, the match starts. The Miz tries his hardest. Lashley completely no-sells all of his offense, which in a genuine fight he absolutely would because you murder him. Although it just made the Miz look like a total bitch. But that's what we all wanted. We wanted the Miz to be exposed as a bitch. And when it was all said and done, they gave us what we wanted. We have a new WWE champion in Bobby Lashley. And is it the greatest win ever? No. Did they build it up too much? Yes. Did they take such a stupid roundabout way of getting there? Yes. But they gave us what we wanted. So you can't shit all over this Raw. I thought the overall Raw was a bit... It was very, very average at best, and it was held up by Bobby Lashley winning the WWE title, Charlotte Flair and The Miz cutting some good promos, and of course that incredible opening match, which would be worthy on any card and any pay-per-view. So Lashley standing there with the WWE title at the end of the show was marvellous. It was what you wanted. And when you think this guy's 44 and he strived all his life to be a WWE champion, and if you've been watching me regularly, you will know that I have been championing this guy and asking, why is he not WWE champion? Look at him. He is an absolute fucking mastodon. I've never seen anyone who looks that good. The guy's 44. I've never looked that good. Even when I was 24, I've always looked like a pasty piece of shit in comparison. And my lord, like, he just looks like an incredible specimen of a human being. He looks like he's a cut above everybody else. And now he has the belt, the strap to say that he actually is. He is the new WWE champion. And you got to give WWE credit. We shit on them all the time. I do as well. People keep saying I'm a WWE mark. Not really. I'm a mark for NXT. Everything else I can take it or leave it. And I'm certainly going to take anything to task if I don't like it. But if you're going to sit here and take WWE to task all the time and say, that was shit, this is shit, they're a rubbish company, they never do what we want, well, all anybody wanted by the end of this night was for Bobby Lashley to be WWE champion, and that's exactly what he is. He's WWE champion. So whether you like WWE or not, you can't sit on your high horse and say that they didn't give us what we wanted. They did. We asked for it. We got what we wanted. We got a legitimate and fresh WWE champion, somebody who's never been WWE champion before, and even though he's 44, let's be honest, he's in the prime of his physical peak and career right now, and I'm thrilled for him. It was a great moment seeing him stand there and the way he kissed the belt right at the end. It was a cool fucking moment to end what was frankly a very turbulent WWE Raw. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this show, please don't hesitate to maybe consider giving us a sub, because we are getting very close to 300. We've already got 270 plus. Lovely to see that our interviews are doing well. We've got more wrestling interviews on the way, which I don't want to spoil for you, but some really big stars from Brit Wrestle and beyond coming in to chat with us on the Wrestle Plug. So I hope you're going to join us for that. Once we get to 300, it's another giveaway, and a shout out to Lee Meeks, by the way, who's constantly interacting with our podcast. Your piece of art is pretty much ready to go, sir. It's just a matter of working out how to get it on a nice print for you, but I'm sure we can work something out. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I've been Aaron Nix, and I'll catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Plug.